22 years ago. You should see the country today. You'd be shocked, you'd be amazed, you'd be impressed. But 22 years ago, they were killing each other. 10,000 people a day for 100 days. 1 million people ended up being killed, mostly of one tribe. That's where we're heading today. Because that genocide 22 years ago didn't start overnight. It didn't happen just at a blink of an eye. It was systematic over a period of months. And let's not forget, like Mheshimiwa Kenakoff said, there was no social media in 1994 in Rwanda. There was no Twitter, there was no Facebook. Today, the hate on Twitter and Facebook WhatsApp is palpable. Be careful, people. And I always say this, be careful what you wish for, because you may just get it. My guests, Kibra, Member of Parliament Kenakoff, and Kamukunji, Member of Parliament Yusuf Hassan. Two sober members of Parliament who are talking candid, who are talking issues. And let's now, gentlemen, keep tweeting at Okoth Kenneth, at MP Yusuf Hassan, at Koinange Jeff. Hashtag Chorea Ukabila. Gentlemen, we'll talk about IEBC before the break, and Mheshimiwa, you wanted to jump in right away. Okay, fine. Let's get your point of view first. Should IEBC be disbanded? Should all the commissioners be sent home? And if so, why?
That's a very good question. Honorable Hassan had talked about the institutions we're building. You know, you'd ask a question also, is Kenya going downhill or going uphill? I think we're going uphill, but we have a choice to make. Will we continue going uphill or will we turn and go downhill? And I think when you talk about institutional building, I think the IEBC of now has lost its the confidence of the people. The incompetence in the last election, 190 electoral petitions that IEBC mismanaged and that were challengeable. The purchase and management of the equipment, the poor training of the staff, the failures in that election that were not done in a proper manner, and the corruptions that which they have not faced up to. Now, as we're getting prepared for the next election, they haven't shown with any confidence to assuage our concerns that they've fixed any of those three major issues.
Okay, so wait. You want to say it has nothing to do with Okoa, what was that Okoa thing that you guys had? Okoa Kenya. It has nothing to do with that.
IEBC must go. So now let us talk about, in the process of asking for IEBC must go, how many Kenyans' lives must be lost? What damage must be done to the Kenyan economy? Is it worth it? This is where we appeal to the honor and the dignity of this Kenya.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, jump in.
I'll just tell you. Isaac Hassan can say,
he can say,
I feel I have done my part. You don't want me in this job anymore. I leave. He praised Willie Mutunga for resigning a year ahead to give the judiciary time for transition.
Yes.
So I will say, let us have...
Go on, Mheshimiwa.
You know, first of all, my brother is saying he dislikes the IEBC because they did not declare perhaps the party or the political alliance that is involved the winner in the last election. The fact that he was elected under IEBC means IEBC didn't do, wasn't that bad after all. We were all elected under the IEBC. There are problems within IEBC. We need to change things constitutionally. We have already discussed the idea of looking at it through a select committee that the president has now agreed to appoint, and Parliament is now working to introduce that select committee. I hope all the political parties represented in Parliament would participate in this select committee so that these arguments can be done within Parliament and also through the select committee in the Kenyan public. But I don't believe that in fact elections can be won by the IEBC or lost by the IEBC. Elections are lost or won through the popular will of the Kenyan people. And if the IEBC has made a mistake or was not up to the job, it's our task to work and improve it. But it doesn't mean that we have to bring our country down to its knees.
Okay, Mheshimiwa talks about Chicken Gate, which we all know. We all know Chicken Gate.
There are individuals who have been accused of it.
Correct.
But you know, you don't have to throw the whole baby with the bathwater. If there are some individuals, let those individuals be charged in the court of law and action taken against them.
People are in jail in the UK on the same Chicken Gate, but here Nothing happened.
Yes, but I'm saying that if there is a case, that case should go ahead and the culprit should be brought to court. But to demolish a whole institution, it's like the police. I'm not very happy with our police service. There are some rotten eggs in it. But I'm not going to go in and demand that our police force should be dismantled in total. There are many institutions that have defects or weaknesses that we need to work on and improve. And to a certain extent, in fact, that we should discuss the IEBC is an issue that has been accepted both by the leadership of the ruling party.
Mheshimiwa, you want to jump in? You want to jump in? I can see you want to jump in.
You know, there's so much material there. It's a very sensitive issue for Kenyans. All I am thinking is we've already agreed this IEBC must go. It's not going to be the IEBC that will run next year's elections. So let us engage in proper dialogue to constitute an institution that we all have confidence in, whether we're doing it through Parliament, whether we're doing it outside Parliament through teams that have been proposed. I thank the President for being willing to step away from the hard stance that he had had for a while, which brought us to the street for 4 weeks, who suffered. I'm a proud Nairobian. The people who suffered are Nairobi businessmen, children in schools who couldn't go to school, tear gas everywhere. We've gone through that. Let us now fix the IBC. And I think there's a consensus and agreement. We will go into the next election with a different IBC, and the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee has started. There'll be this joint select committee. Let us engage, because again, as you said, the moment we stop talking is the moment we start fighting and we see each other on the street.
Absolutely.
So we've gone through that. I won't belabor the point. I know Yusuf Hassan is going home and his team.
You do know he's going home?
I know that for sure.
Yeah.
I can bet on
do?
it.
We give them 200 million shillings, we send them home and start again?
We can negotiate that. Mumo Matemu went home. Grace Kaindi went home. At both of those points, there were constitutional questions and legal questions. And Grace Kaindi went home. And Mumo Matemu went home. So there is a certain inconsistency for Jubilee to certainly say that now there is a constitutional process that is not negotiable. Some things are political before they are constitutional.
Mheshimiwa, real quick.
Or they are both constitutional and political, and we must address both sides.
Okay, Mheshimiwa, real quick. So do we recycle, if you will? Do we recycle the IEBC after every election? I mean, if we send Yusuf Hassan his commissioners home and we bring a new team after the next election, do we get a new team?
No. I think there are many countries that have been able to sustain the electoral commission. For example, South Africa. I was in South Africa in the 90s. I left 2000. The same electoral commissioner has been in existence to run the South African elections. It is the confidence that both Parliament and the public have in an institution that keeps it going. So I think there is no need to change institutions every 2 or 3 years. It's expensive. It is divisive. If we get a good leadership in our institutions and a good institutions, we should sustain it. I mean, it's not institutions are not like shirts that you change every day.
Every day,
Yes.
Okay, let's switch gears.
There has to be continuity. There has to be institutional memory. Experience comes with work. And so there are a lot of factors why you would want to keep people who can do the job.
Okay, gentlemen, let's switch gears real quick as we move along. You mentioned the CJ, Chief Justice Dr. Willie Mutunga. Tomorrow, June 16th, is his final day in office. And you praise him, by the way, wholeheartedly. Despite the challenges that the judiciary has had, you have good things to say about him.
Absolutely. I think you must look at where we have come from. We did not have an independent judiciary. We had a judicial system that has been compromised over many years of a repressive, reactionary and corrupt government. We now have an opportunity to have an independent judiciary. He has done quite a lot if you listen to his speech. The number of judges, the number of courts. Yes, there's still challenges. You know, there are teething problems. Even in our devolved government, there's a lot of criticism of governors. But look at what happened. They were elected in the 2013 March. The next day they came into office. No transition, no piloting, no trial and error. They just started work.
They were flying blind.
Exactly. And it is just incredible that they have even done any job. Of course there are problems. There is no country that has evolved and developed without having problems. And that's why we have institutions like Parliament and others to correct those mistakes and to be able to bring our institutions up to speed. We're not there yet. But, you know, we have a beginning, we have a foundation. we should not destroy that foundation. We should build on that.
Mheshimiwa, your thoughts on CJ, Dr. Willie Mutunga?
There are some things that are priceless, you cannot pay for, you cannot buy. Integrity, courage, vision, he's shown those. In all of the bad things that have happened in the judiciary, nowhere has he been accused of pilfering even a single cent. In a country where a lot of people go into public service and think they're above the law and help themselves to public resources, he has done his best. I congratulate him, and I think he's a role model for that. When you look at his academic background, his civil society background, he was one of the people who were in exile at the same time that you were in exile in the Nya regime. He's been through it all. I think he's a patriot for Kenyan, and he's an amazing man in so many ways. So I think all I can do is, Chief Justice, I salute you. I apologize to you for somebody in this country who criticized your sense of style because you wore an earring. Keep on wearing that earring. Keep on speaking Sheng. Bring justice to Kibra, to Korogocho, to Mathare. Engage the young people in a language they understand. And we need more leaders in his service and style. He's not going to be any richer than he got there. He left a big job at the Ford Foundation that he earned more than he earned as CJ. And he's going to leave and he can declare his wealth. That is a great role model. Has the judiciary been perfect? No. Is there any human leader in Kenya who's perfect? No. But has he done this country a great service? Yes, and we will always remember him. He has been one of the best.
Absolutely.
If not the best.
Real quick, with Lawal and Tunoi, just about going home, I think it's been ruled, right? They didn't overturn the appellate court's ruling. So those two are going home because according to the Constitution, justices retire at 70. Good call?
Have you ever been to Kisumu where they throw the rotten heads of the fish? How bad it smells.
Yes.
These two people you've just mentioned make the judiciary smell very bad. While he's just praising Chief Justice Tunoi, these two people now, they bring the bad smell to the judiciary. Sorry.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, good call?
Yes, I think they are retiring. It is a good opportunity now to re-energize, bring new people into the judiciary, to start again as we head toward the election. And I hope it will be done very well. We have the Judicial Service Commission. And we have a lot of brilliant...
we're going to need three, you know that. Judges, we're going to need three justices of the Supreme Court.
We have a lot of very good, brilliant judges
that
can come on board very quickly, so that there's no vacuum. And that's actually the thing that I keep on emphasizing in terms of institutions, is that we have to keep them. We have to improve them constantly. And I think with new blood, we're going to see perhaps the results of some of the changes that the Chief Justice had started.
Go ahead, Mheshimiwa.
There's something someone once told me in Kenya, and as you think about filling the Supreme Court, that the two most marginalized ethnic groups in this country are the Kikuyus and the Luos. And I think it is important as you're filling the Supreme Court that you already have Justice Joki Dungu, a very good and very sometimes colorful, controversial jurist. You have Smoking Wanjala and the other. We do not want the risk, and it's going to look bad, it's going to feel bad, if you dare to feel, and we take the approach of saying that the three most qualified people to join the Supreme Court will be from one ethnic community. Whether there are three Luos, I'll reject that. Whether there are three Luyas, I'll reject that. Whether there are three Turkanas, I'll reject that. And whether there are three Somalis, I'll reject that. We must find a certain diversity and encouragement, because it takes something very special for a poor Somali boy somewhere in northern Kenya to see this excellent leader here to say, I can become something. It takes something for a poor boy in Kibra called Okoth
if you were to put your hand in the hat
Yes.
and pull out a name, who would you think would make the next CJ? You know, just take a long shot. Take a wild guess.
Who would make the next
Yes.
CJ? Who do I wish would
Yes.
make? I wish it would be a woman.
Oh,
That's all I'd have to
nice.
say.
Which one?
Well, I think I would leave that to the Judicial Service Commission. May the best judge become our Chief Justice.
Yeah, sounds like you said Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, but I mean, maybe that's just me.
I'm very clear. Give us a woman. If you can't find any, Nancy Baraza has atoned for her sins.
What about Gladys Boss? Uh-oh.
She's a personal friend. There's a conflict of interest. She's my personal friend, so I can't talk about that.
Let's take a break, come back. Gentlemen, let's talk about the way forward. Because we're still on this hate thing, by the way, yeah?
Yes.
We're still on this hate thing, and I just don't get it. Maybe it's because people haven't traveled outside this country, and they're so enclosed. They're so, you know,
Not even outside this country, outside their constituency.
Thank you.
Outside
Thank you.
their constituency.
Thank you.
You know, I started an exchange program between the children of Kibra constituency and the children of Ndiwa constituency in Homa Bay County. And for the first time, some of my children in class 6 and 7 were in a bus crossing the counties. Nairobi
They've
County,
never done that before.
Kiambu County, you go down the Rift Valley into Narok County, into Bomet County, Namira and
Kisii.
Kisii, then you make it to Homa Bay.
It's another
8
country.
counties they had never been.
Come
So
on.
these children are trapped almost like in a prison of poverty. We need to do something with our education system
point.
that moves kids around
the country. Good
talk
point.
at the highest level at the universities. We need to make sure our universities are not ethnic enclaves and make sure they're national institutions.
Gentlemen, let's take a
that
break.
way we will change this thing.
Let's take a break. Keep tweeting at Okoth Kenneth, at MP Yusuf Hassan, at Koinange Jeff. The hashtag Chorea Ukabila. Folks, we're talking the talk here. We're talking frank. We're calling it like we see it. Why? Because maybe between the three of us, we have seen the ugly side. We have seen how bad things can get. If you want to go down that route, it's up to you. But for most of us, we have no other place to go to. So you're on your own. Jeff Koinange live from the Villa Rosa Kempinski takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.